Slides corner. Today I'm covering a topic, what is Excel? So if you are new to Excel, you might be wondering what exactly it is, what can it do for you. That is what I'm going to cover in this particular lesson, to just give you an introduction to what it is and its capabilities. I'll just show you this particular income statement, which will show the income statement for a particular period, for the 12-month period. It can be a personal budget. In this case, it is a company profit and loss. So it shows the profits per period. And over here, you also have a dashboard, which can actually just show you, you can actually see for the full year. You can see graphs, nice graphs for the full year, and you can see some numbers on top here, and you can also select one period. We can select a few periods to just see what was happening during those periods. So guys, sit back and relax and enjoy the lesson. What exactly Excel is? So Excel, we will need to start by opening an Excel document. Where do you find it? On your computer. So if you can follow my cursor, the first thing you have to do is to click on the Start menu here, or you can just press Windows button on your computer. Then the Windows menu will pop up, then you can type Excel. Okay, you can just start typing Excel. Then there it is, you select the Excel app. This is what you want to open, so you just click once. Okay, then it is opening here. It will take a few seconds. Okay, it's open now. So on this menu now, it's asking you, what is it that you want to open? Do you have a document that you have worked already on, or you want to pick from some templates here? Okay, for now, we just want to go into Excel and see what it is, so we'll just start from blank workbook. Okay. So here I've opened my blank workbook. There is nothing in it. I'll explain to you exactly what makes up this whole workbook. Excel interface is made up of basically two things. The application window, which is on top here. So basically from where it's written file here up to here where you start seeing these boxes. That's the application interface, and everything surrounding here is the application interface. Then we have the workbook window, which is basically where you can see the boxes inside here. That's basically the workbook window. So what is the difference between the two? Okay. So if we just go a step back and we say file and we come back here, at this point we are just in the application. We have opened our application Excel. Then it will now say, which workbook do you want to open? So these are different workbooks. These are templates from Microsoft Excel, but they are in the form of a workbook. So they are workbooks. And also here over here I have my workbooks, which I recently worked on. So these are different workbooks. What it means is that if I open, for example, this workbook template, it's not necessarily going to contain the same workbook information to this Excel workbook, but the application interface is going to remain the same. So the application interface is that part of Excel which doesn't change regardless of which workbook you have opened. So let's go back into our workbook. I just hit escape or back arrow. Okay, I'm back in my Excel. Okay, now the application window is made up of quite a number of things. So I'm going to just go through the main things that makes up the application window. The first one is the quick access toolbar. So this is the top part here. Basically what it is, these are certain commands which you would want to oftenly use. So here you have the save command bar. So if you want to save your workbook, you would click this, and here is the undo button and redo button. In a nutshell, what the undo and redo button does is, I can just demonstrate with an example here. For example, if I type my name in this cell, okay, I've typed in my name, then I realized no, I didn't want to type my name. I wanted to put something else. I wanted to put my surname instead. I can go and say undo. Okay, I can do undo. Now it disappears. Then if I think that, oh, I actually wanted to show my name, not my surname, so I can actually redo to just bring back the name because that's what I wanted. So I can. So here on the drop down, you can see the recent things that you have done, and you can actually undo. If I have done 5 or 10 things, let me just do something and maybe type in my surname here and maybe number 1 here. Then if I can just drop down here, you can see the latest things I have done, and I can undo everything by just selecting the last one. It will tell me that I'm undoing 3 actions below here. So I can just undo and it will undo everything. Then I can redo one by one or select to redo everything. So I will just want to. Also here there are quite a number of quick commands you might want to use. These are the ones which come with Excel, but there might be quite a number of commands you want to use depending on what you use your Excel for. So if you drop down, you'll see that there are other commands here. You can have a quick command to open a workbook. You can have a quick command to print the workbook, or to do a spelling check, or a quick command to do a touch or mouse mode. Okay, let's just do a quick command to print. So if I click on this one, because it's unticked, it means it's not here. Only the ticked ones are the ones which are over here. This is the undo, this is the redo, and the save. So if I click on quick print, or let me put email rather, okay, it now shows an icon for email. So if I click here, I will then be able to send out an email immediately. When I click here, it then opens the emailing window quickly and attaches this workbook. So you can add as many quick commands as you want. You can also get more quick commands. If you click more commands here, you can get more commands here. And you can see here on the screen, which is showing on a screen, that these are the ones we already have, and these are the commands you can add. Here it's showing popular commands, but you can actually select to say, I want to see all the commands which are there, and you can actually choose what you want to see. So there are a lot of commands, so you can choose whatever you want to add on the quick access menu there, so that you can just quickly click it whenever you need it. Okay, because I don't want to change anything, let me just cancel. Okay, so the next thing that you have is the ribbon. So this is basically the ribbon here, which is the top part of your Excel workbook. Okay, just below the quick menu here. So a ribbon is made up of different ribbon tabs or command groups. These are command groups. So we have the home command group, we have insert command group. In the insert command group, if you want to insert anything into your workbook, for example, you want to insert a chart or add a chart, that's where it is. If you want to insert a picture from somewhere, you can insert picture here. This is the insert. You can insert shapes, you can insert quite a number of things. We'll learn that in due course. For the purpose of this part, just know that there is an insert command group where you find various commands. So these are commands where you find various commands to insert anything you basically want to insert in an Excel workbook. Then there's a page layout here where you can actually decide how you want your page to look like. So it includes the margins. When you print your workbook, do you want it to have bigger margins or smaller margins? Do you want it to be portrait or do you want it to be horizontal? And the size basically of your pages. So you can actually do this in your page layout. Then you have formulas here where you can say, okay, I want to put a formula. Maybe you don't know the formulas which are there. Then you can actually check, okay, these are the formulas which are there, and you can choose the formula you want to work with. If you want to work with sum, you select it and you can start summing things, or you can do quite a number of formulas. We'll learn the formulas in future courses. So for now, it's just key to know that there is a formula command group where you can find a lot of formulas. And there are many other groups which I'm not going to look at now, but we'll discuss them in due course. Okay, so below the ribbon here, you can see there is this other box here, over here. It's the name box. So this contains the name of whatever I'm selecting. So if I'm selecting something here, if I'm selecting this particular cell, it tells me that its name is C4. Okay, that's the name of this cell which I'm selecting here. So you can see it in the name box here. Then also, if I can just quickly select here on B3, you can see that there is something else coming up, which is the formula bar. So we also have a formula bar. A formula bar, that's where you can actually type in what you want to put in the cell. So for example, if I can just select here, let me just select here on C3. Then if I just start typing my surname in here, you can see I can start typing here. Or what I can do, if I just undo what I've done, I can actually come also here in the formula bar here. This is the formula bar. I can start typing my surname also in the formula bar. So you have an option whether to just type over this, or you can type in the formula bar, but the result is it will show in here in your cell. The next thing you have is columns. So you can see here we have column A, this is column C, this is column I, and so on and so on. Also, you have rows. So these are rows. This is row number 1, row number 2, row number 5, and so on and so on. Then these ones where we were typing, these are cells. So this is a cell. Okay. I can just highlight on top here and hit delete to delete whatever I had typed in. I can highlight and just hit delete on my keyboard. Okay. So these are cells, guys. So if you can see this cell I'm highlighting here, it's cell number B3. How do we get B3? Let me just put my name again here so that we can easily see it. Okay, so the name of the cell is given according to the column it is in. So it's in column B, that's why we call it B. Then column, it's in row 3, so that's where the 3 is coming from. So it becomes cell B3. That's the name of the cell. Okay, so the other thing we have, guys, is the horizontal and vertical scroll bars. Okay, the scroll bars, guys. So if you look over here at the bottom here, on the bottom right, I have a scroll bar here which I can scroll to the left or to the right. This is the horizontal scroll bar. Sometimes you can see that I can only scroll up to here. It doesn't continue scrolling to the right. Okay, what it means is that Excel is just sensing that there is no data here. But if I want to force it to continue scrolling, I can just click on the arrow here and it can continue scrolling to where I want to go. Okay, this is the vertical scroll bar. Okay, if I want to scroll down, I use the vertical scroll down. Likewise, also, I can also just use the down arrow if I want to continue scrolling further down. Okay. So often we get people who end up doing something incorrectly. So for example, when you receive a workbook, it's important to just make sure that the scroll bar is on top, to make sure when you are working with the data in the workbook, you might see this workbook here, you can't see any data. So it's not that there is no data, there is data, but it's hidden on top there. So it is always important to just make sure that you are on, you are actually showing or your scroll bar is right at the top so that you can actually see all the data that you have. And if you want to, for example, select the data, or if you want to read through the document, you can actually see everything that is in the workbook. So if we can just scroll up, you can see the data is there. So you can actually now see there is something written in this workbook. It's not a blank workbook. Okay. Also, with the scroll bar, sometimes this vertical scroll bar, some people might by mistake drag it either to the right or to the left. So if you drag, there are three dots here. If you by mistake drag it, you can see that I don't see the scroll bar anymore. You can get a workbook from someone doesn't show the scroll bar. It doesn't mean that there isn't a scroll bar. The scroll bar is there, but what it just means that it is somehow hidden. So all you need to do is to come here just above the zoom, and there are three dots here, and you just highlight them so you can see the double lines, and you can drag and show again your horizontal scroll bar. Also, sometimes if you scroll it too further to the left, you can see it's actually now hiding my sheets. I can't see any sheet name here. So it doesn't mean that I don't have any sheets, but you just need to scroll it to the right to be able to see the sheets again. Okay. Then you also have worksheets, guys. So these are worksheets. So when you open your first Excel, you'll see there will be only one worksheet here. So this is where you input your information here. So for example, my name is in B3 here. That's where I've inputted my name. Okay. Then you have a zoom control. So you can probably see, you are probably struggling to see my name here. Okay, what I can do is I can make use of the zoom control. There's a zoom control here in the bottom right corner. You can see there is a zoom, so I can click, I can either drag this line here to the right, or I can actually hit the plus button to just increase the zoom size to the size I actually want. Okay, all right, maybe it's more visible enough. Or I can actually reduce the zoom by hitting the negative button, the minus button here. Okay, the other thing you have also is the worksheet display settings. Okay, so these are worksheet display settings. You can change them. You have a normal view, you have a page layout view, and a page break view, but we'll see later on in this lesson how these layout views work. Okay, then the last thing I just want to show you on the web application interface is the save. So if you go here on file, you can see that there is save here. You can just save, or if you want to save as a copy, sometimes you have done something and you want to save it as a copy, you can just go to save as. So here, if you just want to save, you can just say click save here, then you choose, you say browse to choose where you want to save. So if I say browse, I want to save it on desktop. Okay, then it gives me this. I choose I want to save it on desktop, and on desktop I want to save it in Excel 101. Okay, then I want to call it, actually I can type what I want to call my workbook here. I want to call it Excel 101 workbook. Okay, this is what we are going to be working with, guys. So you can save it where you are going to remember, so that in our next videos we'll be using this same file. Okay, it's saving, it's saved. Okay, so from now on, now I have already saved it, so from now I can just click the save here. Okay, I can click the save and it saves every change I would have done. I can just come here and now click save, and it is now not giving me that option to choose where to save because I already saved it. But if I want to save it somewhere different, as a copy, I can just say save as. Then I can choose again where I want to save it. And I can either save it here with this with a different name, or I can choose somewhere else I want to save it, maybe to downloads or to wherever I want to save it. But I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to cancel, and here I'm just going to hit the back arrow to go back into my workbook. Okay, so that's it about the application window. Now from the application window, we are now going to look at the workbook window. Okay, so what is the workbook window? As I mentioned, this is now my workbook. I have saved it as Excel 101 workbook. Okay, and this information, if I close it and open Excel again, I'm going to see this information still there because this is the workbook I'm working on. But if I open another workbook, I'm not going to see this information. But what I'm going to see, which is common between those workbooks, is this ribbon is going to be there. The zoom, for instance, is also going to be there. The horizontal scroll bar is going to be there. The vertical scroll bar is going to be there because it's part of the application. So every Excel workbook is going to have it. But this workbook part, it's unique to each workbook. Okay, so what makes up a workbook? So these are the worksheets. So, or you can call them spreadsheets. Okay, so what you can do with this worksheet, this is where you enter your data. You can actually rename them. You can say, okay, because sheet 1 is just a random name which is given when you create a new workbook. So you can actually uniquely name them to what you are going to remember. For example, if I want to have sheets for each month, so maybe I want to do a calendar or whatever I want to do, but I want a sheet for each month. So I can say, this is my January sheet. Okay, I have my February. April. Oh, I forgot March. So I have my March. Okay, to create new sheet, guys, as you can see, I'm just clicking the plus icon here. Okay, then I have May. Okay, so this is how you create new worksheet. And to rename the worksheets, guys, for you to rename the worksheets, you can actually just I think I did it first. You can just right click and click on rename, and you can type whatever you want to type, ABC for example. Okay, I can type right click again, I can say rename, and I can type it was January. Okay, this is how you add a new worksheet. You can also delete a worksheet. For example, if I realize that I don't need May, I can actually right click it, hit delete. Okay, so that's right click, then hit delete. Okay, here caution, guys, if you delete a worksheet, you are never going to retrieve it again. So if there is information here you want, it's important that you save it somewhere else and before you can delete it. Okay, let me just delete. Okay, so if we had information in here, in Excel would give you a notification that you are never going to recover this worksheet again. Do you really want to delete it? So let me just put something here. Okay, then if I try to delete this worksheet, okay, delete. Okay, here's the notification. Microsoft Excel will permanently delete this sheet. Do you want to continue? Then you continue, or you can say delete, or you can say cancel. I don't want to delete it, so I can say cancel. Okay, I can also delete a number of worksheets at the same time, so I can just highlight them and actually just delete them. Then it asks me the notification, then I say yes, I want to delete them. Okay, so something you can do is move a worksheet. Okay, move or copy a worksheet. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate moving a worksheet first. So for example, if we have, I'm just renaming it, so I right click, rename. Okay, let me call it March, this one. Then this one I call it February. Okay, so what I can see here is that my March worksheet is before February, which shouldn't be the case. So what I can just do is I can just then right click this one. Okay, right click, I want to move or copy. Okay, move or copy. Do I want to create a copy? No, I don't want to create a copy. Where do I want to move it? Okay, here it's saying before sheet. So if I select, I want to move March after February, so it's right at the end, so I can select at the end, because if I say before February it will come back to the same position. Okay, let me say move to the end. Okay, there you see it. To just demonstrate, so I can say move again, move or copy. I can say move it to before January, so March will become the first sheet. Okay, here it is. Okay, or I can just drag it. I can just left click on it, then it shows me I'm dragging it, and I can drag it right to the end. Okay, I can also, for example, if I have created a template, okay, let's say I have created a template, so I say weekdays here, and I list the weekdays, so it's Monday, okay, I've listed my weekdays, and let's say I've made a beautiful template and I want to copy it across. So instead of creating new worksheet and typing all over again what I've typed here, I would have rather said, okay, I don't need these, I delete them. Okay, I would rather say just right click, guys, on the tab I want to move or copy, I want to move or copy, and I want to create a copy, because I want to create a copy and name it February, for instance. Then I say move it to the end and create a copy. It is January 2, that's a copy, it has the same information as January. Then I just right click and rename it to February. Okay. Another thing I can do with worksheets is that I can also differentiate the colors. Okay, so I can change the color. I can right click and say tab color. I choose green for January, and tab color I choose maybe red for February. So for example, you might have completed this worksheet and you want to save, so and you want to remember where you have left off, so you haven't yet started February, you would maybe make the color red so that when you come, you know, oh, okay, I still have to do something in the worksheet February. So you just color it. Okay. Okay, hiding worksheets. Okay, something you can do, guys, is hiding worksheets. You can actually hide the worksheet if you just want to. Maybe we are in the month January and you are sending a report for January. You wouldn't want to show February, even if you have already started working on February. You just want to show January. So something you can do, you can say, okay, let me hide. Okay, so you can right click it and say hide. Okay, you can hide as many sheets, but you just need to make sure that you don't hide everything, because you actually Excel doesn't allow you to hide all the sheets. So for example, if I try to now hide January because it's the only visible cell workbook, Excel is not going to allow me. Okay, let me try to hide. To tell me that a worksheet must contain at least one worksheet which is visible. Okay, so I can't do anything to hide it. Also, I can unhide the worksheet. Okay, unhide, then I can select unhide. Okay, so if I had, let's say I had more worksheets, let me just add another move or copy February, create a copy, move to the end to just duplicate it. Okay, then I rename it to March. Okay, rename to March. Okay, the color is still red, it's fine. If I want to hide both of them, I can actually just click on March and click Control and click on February. So it's okay. Let me unselect them so I can say on March, then I press down Control, then I click on February. Okay, then I can actually hide them, or I can hide them as one by one. Okay, I hide them both. And if I want to unhide, there's no option to unhide two sheets at a time, so you have to do one by one. Okay, unless you know about a macro, but if you don't know a macro, you have to do it one by one. Okay, hide, there is appearing now, unhide March. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is it about hiding worksheets and showing worksheets, renaming them, moving them around, so you can now play around with worksheets. Okay, something you would want to do is to maybe show a print preview. To now you are done with your work, you want to print the report, so you can just then select the print preview. Okay, so this is under the display settings we discussed in previously. So at the beginning in the application interface, so this is the application interface. You can click OK, page break view, or you can say page layout, where you can see pages. Okay, under page layout you can put a header on your page. So if you want a certain word or a certain sentence to appear on each and every page you are going to print, you can put a header. So this is where you go here and say page layout, then you can show the page break view, or back to the normal view. You can just click on the normal view, the one on the left here. Okay, so under page break view you can also see that there are blue lines here, so it shows the printable area, but sometimes there might be information here. Excel just automatically figures out where there is information and it puts it in the green, in the blue bounds, but sometimes you might have information here which it's not sensing, so you can just go on over the blue line and drag it down, okay, or drag it to the left. Okay, but you can see here now it's showing that we have 4 pages. Okay, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. But if you want to click to print it all on one page, you can just go over this dotted line and drag it to the right. Okay, then it's only showing on page 1. Okay, or I've shown you how to move or copy a workbook. But now the important thing that you need to remember is that when you are sending this workbook, if you don't want someone to see information here in March, you can't hide it, because if you hide it, they are going to just go and unhide it. So they will see your confidential information. So what you would want to do is you want to remove this worksheet and separate it from your other workbooks. So what you would do then is that, so you would select the match. So let's say you don't want to show match, you select match, you right click it, you say move or copy. You don't want to create a copy because you want your confidential information not to show anywhere near this document. Then you say here, you can drop down and select new book. You just want to move it out and into a new book which you can save somewhere else. Okay, new book, then you can say okay. Okay, there it is, it's in its book. Okay, if I just minimize it here, there is my new book Excel. If it's called book 2. If I minimize here, I go back to my Excel 101 workbook. I can see I only now have January and February. If I look for to unhide anything, there's nothing hidden here, so it's no longer there. Okay, it's now somewhere else. I can just go and highlight over my Excel application. I can still see there is the match, but I don't want to select it now, so I go back to my workbook here. Okay, so that's an important tip, guys. All right, so if you are here, you want to create a new workbook, what do? You go to file and you can say, okay, so it's either you can open an existing workbook or you can create a new workbook. So let's say you want to open, it will show you, okay, these are the workbooks which are there, these are the recent ones, or you can go to folders and look for the file you want to open and you can open your workbook. Or you can go to new and it will give you all these templates and you can select which template you want to use, or you can just say I want to start with a blank workbook. So if I select blank workbook, there I have a new workbook. It's now called book 3. But because I don't want to work in here, I will close it. It was just to demonstrate, so I can go here and close this window. Okay, saving and sharing, I touched on it briefly, but what you can do if you want to save, you can just come over here under file and click on save, or you can click save as. So that's how you can save. And also what you can also do is you can also print your file. Okay, here's the print. Okay, if you click on print, you can choose a printer. If you have any physical printer installed, you can see the printers. If you don't have printers, you can actually print to PDF. Okay, let me print to PDF. Okay, you can change page setup. We'll discuss at a later stage. This part is not necessary now. You can print, then you are printing to PDF, so you can choose where exactly do you want to save it. Okay, so we want to save it on desktop, and in the same file I named my file Excel 101, the file I'm working on. So I can just say, okay, I want to save it here, and you can give it a name. So I would give it the Excel 101 PDF. Okay, then I can save it. Okay, so it's going to print this page here. Okay, so if we go to our desktop, so let me minimize this. Okay, then to my desktop, I can see Excel 101 folder. If I open it, there is my PDF document and I can open it. Okay, it's asking me how do I want to open it. For now, let me just use Microsoft Edge to open it. Here it is. These are my weekdays. Okay, so I have printed to PDF, so I can share it and send it to someone in PDF. Okay, why would I want to print it? Because PDF you cannot edit it. If you send it to someone, they cannot just edit as they wish. They can't do changes to it. Okay. Alright guys, so that's it for me. If you liked this video and you want to get notifications when we do publish next videos, please remember to subscribe and hit the like button at the bottom. You will get notifications. And if you have any questions guys, remember to just ask in the comment section. We will look at those comments before our next video and we'll address those questions at the end of the next video. Watch this space, more is coming, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.